Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, distinguished guests, and folks of all stripes, put your hands together for the Space Cadet Sports Podcast. Houston, we have Paul Salazar Jr.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Space Cadet Sports Podcast, your Houston sports podcast for diehard Houston Astros fans from a diehard Houston Astros fan. I'm Paul Salazar Jr., your favorite diehard Houston Astros fan podcaster. I'm a winner, baby, and winners win, and I'm also a creative multi-hyphenate. We won't talk about that today, though. Of course, I'm a Houston native, and I have the receipts to prove it. I was a fan of the Houston Astros. I'm not really sure if I'm proud of that as much as I'm just trying to tell you I have the receipts. I've spent the last decade or so as a comedy writer in Los Angeles, and now I am podcasting. That's what happens once you hit 10 years out here. You turn vegan overnight and you're given a podcast. Welcome to said podcast. This is what my brother calls the Paul Broadpod Ball Blog. Hey, brother. Check out spacecadetsports.substack.com for the full blog experience. I started Space Cadet Sports as a passion project because most media is infuriating as a diehard long-term fan of your Houston Astros. Here we try not to be doom and gloom Astros fans, or worse, the national media haters of the Houston Astros. It's a tough night for those haters, folks. We love this team here and we root them on, but we also want to discuss the ins and the outs of our team without too much homerism. Keyword, we try here. We try to be reasonable and not too hot-takey and reactionary. And now that football season is here, we talk some Texans here too. We're recording this transmission late night. It's late night with sports. It's late night with sports. It's late night with Space Cadet here. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host and co-producer, The Roz. To my Frasier, Carla the dog is here with me. She may get on mic from time to time. I don't do too many hot takes. She has the hot takes on the podcast. We are very excited here. I am very much like Frasier here tonight. I am drinking some Cabernet Sauvignon to celebrate the Astros win. Trying to keep it classy here tonight, folks. Trying not to go too hard, seeing that I knew I had to record a podcast. Didn't want to get the party started too early here. Tonight, we are going to talk about tonight or last night, Tuesday's game against the Seattle Mariners to clinch the AL West for your Houston Astros. Never lose, Astro. Shoot it, Houston, Texas. Go Astros. Drop it here.
Shoot it, Houston, Texas. Go Astros.
We never panicked here. Go check the receipts. You can see that here we had the Space Cadet Sports official Houston Astros panic meter. We never panicked here this season. Go check the receipts. Folks, we have a lot of energy here tonight. We are very excited. I had my Cabernet. Carla got her treats. We had plenty to celebrate. Pop magnitude. Let's celebrate and pop them botellas. Shout out to all the haters and the doom and gloomers who gave up in May. LOL, y'all look silly right now. Just look at you, a mess. Remember this time the next time you want to get all emotional about baseball in May. You know, trying to close the window and acting like the Astros are not a great team. This team is historic and we should enjoy this run while it lasts because, folks, this type of team just does not happen, and we are lucky to be in it right now. Try to enjoy it and not worry about tomorrow right now. Just enjoy this team instead of fretting constantly about when's it going to actually take a sneeze break there. Sorry for these weird edits. This team is a hot team. They definitely are a dramatic team. It has been a long season. Really, it's kind of like the Astros kind of remind me of Tina Turner at the beginning of her famous song "Rolling on a River." She says, every now and then, I think you might like to hear something from us nice and easy. But there's just one thing, you see. We never do nothing nice and easy. We always do it nice and rough. That does sound like our Houston Astros, folks. We are going to recap their win against the Seattle Mariners tonight. But before we get started here, I just want to say, g'day, mate, to anybody who is listening out there in Australia. Folks, dear listeners, we are growing here. We are growing at the podcast. I was informed that your favorite podcast here is number. We'll just say we're in the top 105 of baseball podcasts in Australia. You'll never guess which one, but I'm trying to get into that top 100, folks. We want an international audience. So if you know any Australians out there that want to listen to the pod, let them know we're out here. Let's get this podcast into the top 100 in Australia. Good day, the charts in Australia, folks. But folks, the Astros win again. The Astros win tonight 4-3, putting the rest of the league in shambles. The Astros are in the playoff for the 8th consecutive season, 4 straight AL West titles. The only little step there that doesn't, that for the AL West break there was the 2020 season where the A's somehow won the AL West there. In this game, though, the Astros were lifted by the long ball, a recurring trend that has made this podcaster happy to see. This trend return to the team this summer. Bregman, Tucker, and Hayward all go long in this game to lift the Astros' slightly shaky pitching performance. The Astros win this game in a metaphor for their season, getting production from the lineup, but homers from the hitters that are hot right now, and timely RBI performances from a Dana Brown pickup. Today, it was Jason Hayward, the LA Dodger odd man out that was, I guess I'm trying to say that has seen plenty of postseason success in his time. He was picked up by the Houston Astros this summer and found playing time as Ben Gamel went out with a broken fibula. He definitely was kind of slotted into the outfield depth chart behind Gamel, but with Gamel being out with injury, Hayward has stepped up to the plate and to left field and has helped this team, especially in this game here. The Astros have rotated many pitchers, outfielders, and first basemen this season and have found production wherever they can. And today, hey, Hayward was a player to step up when the moment called for it. La Grasa, Framber Valdez started this game for the team. He struggled a bit in this game, especially with 2 outs against a Seattle team that was playing for a lot of pride. Seattle, just like a metaphor for their season, played beyond their talent and rode the great start from amazing starting pitching. They just didn't have enough to outlast the Houston Astros. Framber, his stat line for the game was 5 2/3 of an inning pitched with 8 hits, 3 runs, giving up 3 earned runs, 2 walks, striking out 4 players, and getting 4 strikeouts and hitting 1 home run. The game really started off good for the Astros with a wild soul that's a rebranded Breggy Bomb. Bregman's 26th of the season in the bottom of the first to put the team up 1-0. In the top of the second, the Mariners came back with a Jorge Polanco home run to tie the game 1-1, and to pile on in the top of the third, the Mariners use some small ball to score 2 more runs on 3 singles and a double to go up 3-1 at this point of the game. I should mention that Logan Gilbert was fantastic for the Seattle Mariners and kept the pitchers' duel going this game, at least into the bottom of the fourth, when King Tuck closes the gap with a solo bolo to right field. And to keep the fans happy at the juice box, Jason Hayward says hey to his 10th home run of the season with Caratini on base to put the Astros on top 4-3. The Astros and the Mariners started throwing their best relievers in the big situations here at this point in the game. Fromber being pulled in the sixth without being able to get his quality start. Abreu came in in the sixth inning to help the Astros out, get out of a jam with 2 runners in scoring position. Abreu gets a grounder to the first baseman of the night, Victor Caratini, to get out of the inning. And he goes 3 up and 3 down in the 7th. Abreu finished the evening with 1 1/3 of an inning pitched with 1 strikeout, picking up his 37th hold of the season. Abreu, some people have been very critical of him, but the Astros really depended on this pitcher so much this season. And Abreu, while he has had a couple missteps, has been solid for the team, just truly answering the phone whenever he was called upon. Gilbert gets 6 innings against the Astros in this game. I was supposed to go back and write his stats because I was trying to give credit to Logan Gilbert, who did pitch a great 6 innings against the Astros. He just did not have Gilbert nor the Mariners had enough in this game, but he did pitch a great game. After Abreu left the game, we're checking in with Paul's pen pals here. Ryan Presley came out of the bullpen. He pitched 2/3 of an inning, giving up 1 hit and 1 walk. He strike. Let's see. Going back in my notes here, he got a ground out to start his outing in the 8th. He got a ground out from a Rosarina. He walked Turner. Then he gave up a single, had a wild pitch, and got a fly out. At that point in the 8th, J.P. Crawford was coming up, and Presley was lifted as he was a little shaky, and this was a big game. Hader was going to get going to attempt to get a stretch save at this point of the game. Presley did not look too happy about it, but Espada looked to make the right call here, folks. Hader did pick up that stretch save, obviously going 1 1/3 of an inning with 3 strikeouts in total. He struck out J.P. Crawford to end the side in the 8th and gets a line out and 2 punch outs to end the game, striking out Julio Rodriguez poetically to put the Mariners' hopes to bed, or at least their hopes for winning the AL West. There still is a long shot for them to get into the wild card, though, that is potentially in play for them. They're just really doing the Mariners dirty, striking out Julio Rodriguez to end the game. Doing them dirty like the Pirates did Rowdy Tellez. I mean, that was ridiculous. If you haven't heard that, he was so close to getting enough plate appearances to vest his option, and they sent him down to AAA. Yikes. That's a tough one. Also around the league and around the league news, somebody proposed at a White Sox game. I don't know if this is a meme or an old story, but yikes. Maybe it could be the one good thing to come out of the season for them. But moving back to the Astros game, the team was 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position for tonight. But hey, that's 500. That was enough. They only left 3 men on base. They got 4 runs off of 6 hits, 4 RBIs. They just worked 1 walk and struck out 8 times. Obviously not a powerhouse of a game for them. Like I said, Logan Gilbert deserves his flowers here. The Astros were just able to score more runs than the other team, and that's how you win games, folks. Tucker was 1 for 4 in this game with 1 RBI, 1 strikeout, and obviously that homer. Bregman was 2 for 4 with an RBI and 1 homer as well, and Hayward was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a home run. He also had an incredible catch in the 5th inning. We were a little worried that he might have fallen prey to injury there, but he seemed to bounce back very quickly. Hayward is already becoming an Astros legend in his very short time here. It makes me think of people like Boom Boom Mancini, who got who wasn't exactly with the team all season long. Wasn't a huge contributor, but showed up in big moments in the playoffs. Maybe Chris Burke, who obviously wasn't a trade or waiver wire addition or anything like that, but had limited moments of success in the playoffs. So I'm just, he could be one of those short-term Astros legends. If you can think of some of your favorite short-term Astros legends, definitely let me know. Reach out to me on the Substack or on social media at Paul Salazar Jr. Or you could leave me a voicemail on SpeakPipe. That's speakpipe.com/Space Cadet Sports. You can go there and leave me a message. You can get on the pod. Definitely let me know if you know any other short-term Astros legends. This was a great win. Also, in this game should be mentioned, Caratini was 1 for 3. He picked up one of those runs as well. Shout out Victor Caratini. This was a great game. The Astros now have 86 wins on the season, which in my article about the Astros' path to winning the division and getting to the playoffs, I said they needed 87 wins to make me comfortable and get to the playoffs through the division. Not too shabby of a call from your boy. I love doing this, but, sometimes having my receipts out there, it's like having my chones on the clothesline. It's intimidating. I'm worried to go back to the beginning of the season to see what my win-loss prediction was. But, of course, I'll check it to let you know how I did. I'm pretty sure I went over by a couple of wins. But we will see how the Astros end the season with their record. But that wasn't a bad call on me saying 87 wins. Let's look at the playoff picture real quick. I am very excited about this game, but let's look at the playoff picture. We'll be talking about this game for a couple of weeks now, I'm pretty sure. Let's look ahead here for your Houston Astros. Like I said, they are 86 and 72 right now, putting them on top of the AL West. They are your division champs. The AL West is ours. In the AL Central, the Cleveland Guardians are on top there. They have clinched. They are 91 and 67. And from the AL East, there isn't a team. The Yankees haven't clinched yet, but they're the favorites, obviously, with 92 and 65. And the Orioles are still, they've clinched the playoffs, but they are still in the running for the AL East. They are 87 and 70. The teams in play for the wild card are the Detroit Tigers, who are 83 and 74. The Kansas City Royals, they are 83 and 74. The Minnesota Twins are 81 and 76, and the Seattle Mariners are outside looking in, 81 and 77, still in the hunt. Looking at the playoff picture for the National League. The National League East is headed up by the Philadelphia Phillies, who are 93 and 65. The NL Central, I didn't put a team there, but I believe that's the Milwaukee Brewers, who are 90 and 67. And the NL West is still up for grabs, with the Dodgers looking to be the favorites at 93 and 63, and the Padres in a close second at 90 and 66. The wild card representatives in the hunt are the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are 87 and 70, the New York Mets, who are 87 and 70 as well, and the Atlanta Braves, 86-71. This is being recorded late night, Tuesday late night, so this, can change very rapidly, but that is what it is right now. I'm nervous to call it, but I like our current bracket. Right now, the Houston Astros, let's see. I thought I wrote that down somewhere. I guess I didn't, but I do recall off of memory the Houston Astros are going to play. Right now, if they went to the playoffs, they'd play the Detroit Tigers. And if they advance past the Tigers, they would be set up for the Cleveland Guardians. And it's so funny. Yeah, I just didn't write that down in my notes. But yeah, that is the way that it would play out as of right now. And the other bracket is, of course, the number 1 seed New York Yankees, who will be playing the other division winner and wild card, or the 2 lower wild cards there. Sorry about that. I just can't find where it is in my notes here. It truly it's super exciting. I like the bracket. I will take the Tigers even though they are hot. I think no matter which way you cut it, there are nothing but good teams in the playoffs. I'll do a little more research, but I kind of like the way it is set up right now. 7 ALCSs is the second longest streak all time that the Houston Astros have. They're going for their eighth. The Atlanta Braves have 8 straight league championship series in the 90s. So the Astros are going for that record this postseason. The postseason begins August 1st. Like I said, if it started today, the Astros would play the Detroit Tigers. The other bracket, I believe the wild card, now that I'm thinking about it, would be Baltimore. Baltimore and Kansas City right now would be the other bracket, and they would face number 1 New York Yankees. I'll take the Tigers right now. I'm not. This isn't trying to disparage the Tigers or anything. They are a very hot team. Our old friend AJ Hinch is over there, but I don't mind that lineup. And the Yankees are a really hot team too. I not to disparage the Guardians, but I kind of like maybe playing the Guardians. Let me know what you think. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself too much, but I'm not trying to call it or disparage any team. Maybe I might change this up, but I like the way the bracket looks right now. Let me know what you think. In the National League, the brackets would be Arizona Diamondbacks right now are 6th against the Milwaukee Brewers at 3, and whoever wins that series would play Philadelphia. The other wildcard series would be the New York Mets at 5 and San Diego Padres at 4, and whoever wins that would play the LA Dodgers. So that is, as of tonight, where the playoff brackets are, how the playoff brackets are looking. After the game, I don't know why this popped into my mind, but just shout out to Joe Espada. Joe Espada, we're still, obviously, it is, the game just ended and we're getting the podcast together. There's lots of post-game interviews coming my way to watch, but just watching Joe Espada after the game, credit the team post-game. It seemed a little bit emotional. It's been a long season, folks. It has been a long season, but you were very happy to see Espada showing some emotion, showing some passion. He's been Joe cool, even keeled. Nothing bothers Joe, so it's good to see him excited there. Real quick. What's the deal with? What's the deal with? Really, what's the deal with right now for me is the new City Connect jerseys. I loved the Space City jerseys. I was kind of shocked, of course, to hear that they were going to be retired and we're getting new Space City or no new City Connect jerseys from Nike, and it's so ridiculous. It's like they made so much money with these jerseys. Instead of just letting these bad boys roll out for a couple more seasons, they're like, maybe these Astros fans will buy more jerseys if we make a new cool one. And they're probably right, because the City Connect jerseys from the Houston Astros were the best-selling City Connect jerseys. Obviously, not just because they're completely dope, but because the city of Houston reps their Astros hard. So Nike has seen those numbers and are like, if we could just do another one just as good, we can get great sales numbers. We live in a capitalist hellscape, so that's what's happening. Hopefully, Nike comes through for us in H-Town. It would really suck if they showed up with some City Connect jerseys that are completely whack and we wish we had the Space City ones again. I and Sarah was the one who mentioned this too. We are both hoping for a tequila sunrise / rainbow jersey coming our way. Please, Nike, if I know you listen to this, Nike, I know you're listening. So please, bring me those sweet tequila sunrise jerseys. That's the only way you'll impress me. Anything else, and it'll be seen as a step back, I'm pretty sure. We'll see. But Nike, you're kind of on thin ice. We'll see what you do. I am totally off to watch a bunch of interviews and highlights and celebrate this long season that has been, me trying to give a lot of optimism. There's been a lot of optimism from your boy. It has been a long one with a lot of haters and a lot of doom and gloom people trying to come for the Houston Astros. So I am very happy right now. I mean, they really made me sweat it out. They made me wait till the second of the last week of the season to get some breathing room, but it's been a long one. I think, for how tough the season has been, we're still doing pretty good. We still have, I'm pretty stoked about where this team can go. The Astros are finally getting a break. I want to see some Gray Kessinger sightings. I want Kess to be able to get his first hit. Gray Kessinger has been a defensive replacement for the Houston Astros all season long. Now that the Astros have clinched the division, I want to see Gray Kessinger start every day. We can rest some of our starters. We can get some people healthy. I'm not saying just let everybody get cold, but it's been a long season for these guys. The Houston Astros, I mentioned that they have won 4 straight AL West titles. They've gone to the postseason 8 straight seasons. Folks, that is a lot of wear and tear on our veteran players. So this long season, it's probably, I've mentioned before, this is probably one of the reasons why they start off so slow. These seasons are so long and never ending for your Houston Astros because they just are the epitome of success. They're the DJ Khaled of of Major League Baseball because all they do is win and all they do is get another one, so we're hoping that this can get some rest for some of our veterans. We can get some Gray Kessinger mixed into the starting lineup, some Shea Whitcomb in there. Let's get Gray his first hit. Let's get me primo in there, Cesar Salazar. Of course, Cesar Salazar is not my actual primo, but we claim him. We claim him on the podcast. Let's get Salazar in the game. This is also big for the Houston Astros because it gets some rest for Yordan. Right now, his knee contusion is still listed as a contusion. He was set out for the Seattle series, which meant the Astros were definitely bullish on getting him back into the mix before the season ended. However, we want to remain cautious because after Kyle Tucker's injury of a contusion turned into a fracture, we definitely are a little hesitant to see what this diagnosis may be. So the fact that the Astros don't need to use Yordan for the last series of the season, the last 4 games of the season, is actually huge for them because we can get Yordan the rest he needs and not have to push him back. Maybe if he's feeling good, if he's looking good, you get him a couple at-bats in Cleveland. Either way, we need Yordan for the playoffs. The Astros can still win baseball games without Yordan Alvarez. Tonight shows that. But having Yordan and Kyle Tucker in the lineup is huge for the Houston Astros. It protects Yordan. It protects Tucker. It protects Bregman. It gives Yanner less pressure and more chances. It really has a domino effect on the entire lineup to be able to get Pena at 6th or 7th there. It's really big to have both of those huge bats in the lineup. So I'm not trying to say without Yordan the Astros are screwed. There's no postseason run. But without Yordan, they are definitely going to be lacking the long ball, which has really been what they needed this late summer and into September to win some baseball games. So the ability to hit homers for the Houston Astros is paramount to them winning right now. So obviously that means we need slugging. That means we need power and protection in the lineup. We need Yordan. So I already asked my mom and her prayer circle of church ladies to pray for Yordan. So please, whatever you're doing out there right now, pray for Yordan and his knee. We need him back. And on another note, too, Chas McCormick. We're hoping Chas McCormick can come back. He was looking hot. We need outfield depth, obviously. With Yordan having that knee contusion, he's probably not going to play left field whatsoever to keep him healthy for the end of the year. That means Yordan's going to be DHing. which means that we're going to need another person in the outfield, which is also why we see Caratini at first so much right now. It looks like we're going to be doing Diaz and Caratini playing catcher and first a lot. This could mean that John Singleton as a DH might not be happening. John Singleton might be more of a pinch hitter / defensive replacement after he's pinched hit if they want to keep his bat in the lineup. We'll see. It's going to be chill baseball for us going forward, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to have some podcasts out there. We still have plenty of things to talk about for Houston Astros this season, but it is going to be a lot easier to breathe for us. Yusei Kikuchi is going to the mound for another day against the Seattle Mariners to close out the series. Even though they don't need to win, and even though the Mariners are going to show up hungry and ready to win, I think Yusei is going to win this game for the Astros because that's all he's done since he's been traded to the Houston Astros. I think Yusei is going to go out there and win this series and really, really make Mariners fans sad. But either way, the Astros are going to be able to take it a little easier for these next 4 games. And honestly, with the way the season has been, how long it has been, and with all the injuries they've had, it's a good thing. Hopefully, they can keep progressing forward and keep doing what the Astros do. It's just figure out ways to win, shut the haters out, and bounce back. We love our Houston Astros here, and once again, we're shutting up the haters. It's a sad day. It's a sad day for the Houston Astros haters out there, but nothing but good stuff for you and me, the Houston Astros diehard fans that are so happy to see them win again. We knew they would do it, and they did it for us. Carla is so happy. She had so many treats tonight. She did not even have a single hot take on the podcast today. And that's going to do it for this transmission, Space Cadets. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Space Cadet Sports Podcast, your favorite diehard Houston Astros and Houston sports podcast out there on the internet. Thank you so much. Please smash all of the buttons for me. Like, rate, review, give us a 5-star review, subscribe, download automatically. Share us with other H-Town hustlers out there, folks. We are a small podcast. We only go as far as you take us. So please let somebody know about us or give us a nice little rating. It goes a long way for us. Thanks so much. Check out the Substack if you would, please. Definitely check that out. That's spacecadetsports.substack.com. You can get every article, every meme dump, every podcast, and occasional video podcast emailed directly to you for free. You just put your email in that field. You get everything sent to you for free, folks. Or if you're like me and you like the iPad or the phone mobile app, more experience, that experience better, download the download the Substack app. Search Space Cadet Sports. You see that orange astronaut and subscribe. Click that you want notifications instead of emails, and you don't get emails anymore. You just get those mobile notifications to let you know of every article, meme dump, and podcast. And once again, that's for free as well. We are a small podcast, and if you do want to support, you can subscribe for the spooky season special. Click on that tab and you get a discounted subscription rate. You don't have to do this to get anything on the podcast or listen to the podcast or get any articles. This is just a way to support the podcast if you want to support our passion project here. It really goes a long way and buys treats for Carla. If you want to let me know what you think, what you want for a playoff matchup, who you want to play in the wild card, let me know. Reach out on social media at Paul Salazar JR on all social media platforms, and I'll respond at least on the cool ones. Or you could leave a comment on Substack, or more fun, you can call in. Obviously, this isn't a live podcast, so it's a voicemail. You can make the show with a cool voicemail. Leave me a voicemail at speakpipe.com/spacecadetsports. Let me know your take. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, we're a small podcast. We appreciate every single person who supports, who subscribes, or who pays a little bit of money for us. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much, folks. Shout out to Cousin Terry. She just, big stuff for Cousin Terry. We're very happy for you. Bernardo, thanks so much, man. Bernie says hi. Also, Bernardo told me Reality Bites does take place in Houston. So thank you so much for that. If you want to let me know if you want to answer any one of my crazy questions on the podcast, please let me know. Bernardo, thank you for letting me know about Reality Bites. I am going to rewatch that soon. But thank you, Bernie. Do appreciate that, folks. Remember to be the best that you can be. Keep your head up, kid. And as always, vamos Astros.